Remember that time. Good morning, everybody. Mental health professional Darren Cox is my very special guest today, Friday, April 17th, 2020. I'm Ben Dryden. You're watching DrydenWire Live. Special thanks to all of our guests this week. Washburn County District Attorney Aaron Marco, Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, former Wisconsin Representative and Attorney Adam Jarko, and Washburn County Health and Human Services Director Jim LeDuc. The Duke. He was Diane Dryden's guest yesterday on Diane's Kitchen. If you missed those and any of our previous chats, you can find those on our website, DrydenWire.com, on our YouTube channel. Just search for DrydenWire, or obviously right here on our Facebook page under the Live Videos tab. It's Feel Good Friday. Darren and I are going to be doing a challenge during the show today to help raise money for Community First Washburn County. A lot of that information you can be found on our website, DrydenWire.com. Oh, I hear Darren. There you are. Hey, man.
You heard my sniffle.
I did.
Talking about an intro.
Well, at least I know you're here.
I am.
All right. So what are we doing today?
Well, with Feel Good Friday, we're going to see if we can't out-compliment each other a little bit, which I think may get a little goofy as this process goes. But yeah, with Jim LeDuc being on your mom show yesterday with his 12-hour commitment to run, I don't think I could run 12 feet, let alone 12 hours. So I think a great way to be able to support Jim and what he's doing is to see if we can't one-up each other throughout the course of this show today. A little fundraiser. So.
Well, if we're doing something like a Feel Good Friday, then on Monday, can I do like my Roast Monday? Just to offset this a little bit?
You bet.
Because I don't want too much feel-good stuff.
Well, consider the alternative. I mean, our stay-at-home order got extended. I mean, you got to do something.
Yeah. So we're going to out-compliment each other, or try to. Then how do you want to do this? Do you want I'll keep track. I think I even have a little dinger here. Let me see if it works. Yeah, it works on our side. All right, good. So every time that you compliment me, then you get
the dinger.
You get the dinger, and you get 1 point.
Yep.
And then when we're finished, let's let you give me 20 compliments. So at the end, then I donate $1 for each compliment, right?
There you go. Yep. And then I'll do the exact same thing heading your way. And if people out there, online want to join in this process, I mean, feel free to comment online, any compliments that you want to give, and any financial support would be certainly welcome for the Outrun the Virus program. But yeah, let's have some fun with this.
All right, cool. Well, you were on here. You were our first when we started with this, when the Safer at Home order started. You were our first guest on a Monday morning, almost 3 weeks ago, and your hair looked different. I just want to start off by saying your hair is rocking, dude.
Well, it's called the homebrew hairdo is what it is. My wife and I literally went on YouTube, typed in how to give a buzz cut in 3 easy steps, and she says, "Are like, you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "What's the alternative? I look like a woolly mammoth, I can't wear a hat like you do, because that hat, that swag, you're killing it, man. It's awesome." Dang it. So I can't do that in session. It kind of robs me of my professional look. I know. So I had to get a haircut. So the first time in my 49 years, minus the mom bowl cut back in the day, I have a homebrew hairdo. It's actually a hair don't, because I don't have to do anything with it. So.
Well, hey, we already have our first person, Mike Schaefer, CEO Spooner Health. If Ben's willing to shake the cobwebs out of his wallet, I will match his donation. All right. Mike, thanks, man. That's awesome, dude.
Sounds like you pucker up tighter than a snare drum when it's time to open up the wallet. Huh?
Well, we're a free media outlet. We don't really make a whole lot. So, Yeah.
No. With the quality of your show, you really should be making bank.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Ding.
Oh, man.
Just for those out there keeping score, it's 2 for Darren and 0 for Ben.
No, I had 1. I said you had a nice haircut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, all right.
You're lying, but that's okay.
I know. I just needed a compliment.
Okay.
All right. So when you were on here a few weeks ago, I think I had asked you that, you gave some tips and you gave some advice on people staying at home, and we found out that your, kids probably can't stand you because you're very strict as parenting goes. That's kind of a compliment. Okay, it's not. But I had asked you about what happens in 2 or 3 weeks, which we're at now. And this is now extended, and the cabin fever sets in. Are you starting to see that in your profession? And if so, what are you telling people that you're talking to?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a tough day with the extension of the stay-at-home order. There's no two ways around it. I mean, I found myself, when that order hit, struggling to find my own happy place. So, this is getting more and more critical as time goes on for people, and you're seeing that level of anxiety just increase over time. So what we're trying to do is make sure people have meaningful activities to stay busy with. You gotta stay occupied. It's medication by distraction is what it is. But the more meaningful activity that you have in your day, rather than just, sitting around looking at things that you can't control, or listening to things that you can't control, the more you're able to do those things, the better you're able to stay on top of your own emotional health. So that's really been the focus. For the kids at home, my kids, if I'm not, real structured and routine with them, it's just nothing but social media all the time.
Yeah.
So getting out, raking leaves, go rake leaves for your neighbor if you need to. Just again, staying busy. This last week, the weather stunk too. I mean, that didn't help at all. Those are just kind of some things we're trying to encourage people to do.
But I just want to point out, that is some great advice.
Thank you. It's deep. I know. And I gotta say, being the first guest on your show 2 weeks ago, apart from the birth of my children, that was probably the crowning achievement of my life then.
Oh, come on, man. That's cold. I mean, you're really reaching now. I mean, and we just started.
Don't you remember in the Rocky show?
Yeah.
When he won in the second one and he holds up, he said, apart from the birth of my kid, this is the greatest moment of my life.
Oh. So now, when you are having this conversation, so first of all, actually, you've been doing telehealth.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been going so far?
It's probably 95 to 98% of our business right now. So if I didn't have telehealth, we wouldn't be doing much. So, the vast majority of people are choosing to honor, the shelter at home, the safe at home order, which I think is good. But just because I'm at home doesn't mean my, mental health needs or my, relational issues go away. So we've had people that are making the most of that. And fortunately, the technology is able to support that well enough where it's, you're still able to provide quality services. So yeah, without telehealth, we'd be in a different world of hurt. So
yeah. And I know that you are not very tech savvy.
No, I'm a technological idiot, unlike the guru that you are.
I was just leading up to a compliment. I was going to say it's very impressive that you have been able to do not just the telehealth, but now we go through Skype, which I can't stand Skype, but it is what it is. That's what our program uses. But the fact that you've been able to set this all up and do it and from your office all by yourself, I'm very proud of you for that.
Well, thank you, Dalai Lama Dryden, because you have walked me through this. You have set me up. You walked me through and practice your technological wizardry and helped me out. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if anyone is just joining us, what we're doing is basically we're going to be trying to out-compliment each other during today's show, and we're doing this to help raise money for Community First. We have information on that on DrydenWire.com on our website, and you can go on Facebook to Community First, just search Community First Washburn County. And so basically each time one of us gives the other person a compliment, the other person at the end of the show, what the total is, will have to donate $1 to Community First. Shouldn't say have to, I guess gets to, whatever. Same thing. All right. Did you see the report? I think I talked about it with one of our guests this week, that 32% of Wisconsin residents that are at the Safer at Home and working, 32% of them are drinking. Did you see that? Like during work hours?
I did not see that. So,
yeah.
I got nothing there.
1 out of 3. So what advice? I mean, that can't be good.
What happens in the home stays at home, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, but alcohol is never going to be listed in the top 10 of any coping strategies that you're ever going to see anybody, throw out there.
What, you
But
don't give that for advice? All right, so the first thing you want
no,
to do
yeah,
is
no,
grab a 12 pack.
yeah, no.
Uh,
Yeah, even though this is Wisconsin and that's kind of what we're known for, that and brats.
yeah.
Yeah, it's never a good coping skill. So we try to avoid that, and in some circles that is frowned upon. So.
I suppose, but what advice do you give? Because clearly, 1 out of 3 pretty much are. What would you tell those people in all of your wisdom? Because you are one of the most respected mental health professionals in not just Washburn County, but I would say Northwest Wisconsin.
Oh man, I don't even know if I can answer after that type of compliment. What is the score right now,
Five
anyways?
to four, you're
Oh,
up.
5-4, I'm up. Okay, man, I got to come through with that one. Um, if when I'm using alcohol as a coping skill, one of the things that I don't think people are aware of is that I get a rebound effect. And what I mean by that is because alcohol is a depressant and it naturally brings me down. My body's natural reaction when that's leaving my system is to go the other direction. And here's where the anxiety starts to come on. So as my anxiety is going up, and if I've been drinking as a way to cope, what does that tell me? Drink some more. So I get in this circular process of managing my moods with alcohol,
Sure.
rather than using other outlets as a means to be able to deal with that. Those other outlets are talking to people, going on a hike, exercising, journaling, reading, crafting. There's all kinds of different things that we can do to be able to do that. So it just starts to reinforce this cycle of using alcohol as a primary coping skill,
Sure.
which just isn't good. Not that we can't use alcohol in moderation, at dinner, those types of things, but yeah, not something that you want to create a habit of for sure.
That is an excellent, excellent perspective on that.
You just tied it up, didn't you?
Yeah, 5-5.
Oh man, I gotta get going. Oh, I gotta get going
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Have I ever told you how beautiful of a man you are, Ben?
That one may be worth. That's a 2-dinger, I think.
Well, just so you know, you are.
Oh man, this this is a train wreck. I love it. All right. So the other thing, a lot of people are at home, obviously, doing nothing. Right, stay on the sofa. I've seen a lot of things about obesity, or I'm sorry, weight gain, and obviously we're trying to help local businesses order takeout, so people are eating a lot more pizza. I mean, obviously the advice there would be get out and exercise, but it's kind of hard to do for some people, or maybe it's just not something that they're able to do. What advice would you give them?
Boy, get busy. You sitting around the house doing
Do
absolutely
something,
nothing.
jeepers.
Yeah, it's just a recipe for depression. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but if my existence revolves around just sitting on the couch absorbing nothing but a news cycle or the information or death statistics or things to that effect, that is going to have a negative impact on my mood. Now if I'm unable to, guess what, I can always occupy my mind. I don't need to be super physically fit or super healthy to be able to activate my mind. So I can be doing that, but the things that I choose to read, the things I choose to feed my mind with. I had a buddy of mine this morning remind me that, social distancing should be actually physical distancing because we're not wired as people to be
Oh,
distant from each other, socially. We need to be distanced from each other physically. But I thought, man, that's a good point. So
that's brilliant that you brought that up.
that's another one. You're ahead. Oh man, I gotta get
No,
going here.
but
I
that's
keep
actually no.
forgetting.
Seriously, that's a really. I never even thought about that. The social distancing really is just physical distancing.
Yeah, because I mean, our deepest need as people is to be in connected relationships. And when with this stay-at-home order, that connection has been significantly impacted.
Mm,
So, getting out, we don't have the ability to socialize like we normally would face to face. But guess what? You can make phone calls, you can do Skype, you can send emails.
right.
Shoot, you can write a letter.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way of communication.
I don't even know where to
So,
buy stamps. I'm assuming this post office, but I haven't been to the post office like 15 years. Hey, so
yeah.
we have a comment here from Dee Leduc. She says, "You're both beautiful. I think viewer compliments should be worth $10." Well,
Okay.
hopefully nobody compliments us on there because Okay, D. I mean, we'll try it, I guess. So, I
Yeah,
mean, at some point I'm gonna run out of money, but that's all right. I'll make Mike Schaefer pay for it.
there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you go. Yeah. So,
All right. So, what else are you seeing when you have these conversations, which I'm sure you do in your profession, mental health? You talk to other people in your profession. You maybe have Zoom meetings, or you get access to emails or information that maybe other people don't. What are you hearing just from the mental health community on how to address these things?
well, one of the primary issues we're facing right now is there's a shortage of providers because some of these places, unfortunately, have had to lay off mental health professionals as a result of the quarantine. So access to service is becoming harder and harder. I mean, we're rural under the best of circumstances here, and it can be hard to find qualified providers. And with these layoffs, it's getting harder and harder. So I'm having people, reach out. Hey, are you doing telehealth? Hey, do you have the staffing to be able to support things even from other states? So our ability to manage the needs right now, I think the needs are actually greater than the providers available, and that's something I have not seen before.
Mhm. Uh,
So at least around here.
Mike Schaefer just said, "I'm glad I don't have to compliment Ben." So with D saying we're both beautiful, I guess that means we both are up. Now it's another 10 for each. So
Well,
it's
I
10.
can't believe my wife hasn't chimed in yet and talked about
Don't
my
tell her.
rate. Well, come on,
Don't say
I'm
it.
losing here. So, things don't come as naturally to me as they do to you. So
Uh-huh. Oh boy. Was that a comment? I don't think it was.
that was. So,
You're actually no, you're up actually.
what is it now?
Well, without those $10 each, I think it's what is that? 8 to 6.
Okay, I'm ahead.
Yeah, so far.
All right, because it
Yeah.
is all about winning.
Is that what you tell your clients?
Yeah, when you're
It's
having an
all
argument
about
with your
winning.
spouse, it's all about winning at all costs. Win. Yes. So
Oh man, I would love
we
to have you. I know you can't, but it would be awesome. It's like when I talk to some cops that are no longer cops. They give stories about things they've done. Nothing illegal, but now they can kind of say a few things. We should have a show just about former cops saying without specifics things that they have seen or done that were. Come on, let's just face it's kind of funny. And
Mhm.
just like with you, some of the stories, I'm sure that you just finish the day and just go, wow, man, that'd be
Th-
that.
there are times where things are head scratchers, no doubt. But the thing that I don't think people realize about this profession is that everybody's problems are the same. It is rare that I see something that isn't in most families at some point in time. So people that think they're weird or unique, well, actually, it's welcome to the human race. We're all fallen, we're all broken, except Ben. So.
Oh
And
man.
we're all striving to, try to figure things out and do a better job. But, you do counseling long enough, you're just usually not surprised. But, there's a few times where you're kind of raising an eyebrow and your thought bubble says that was stupid, but that doesn't make good therapy to say something
Yeah,
like that.
right.
So,
Yeah, is it one of those? I'm sure you have, because there's no way you couldn't, because you're a human being. You're a beautiful human being, by the way. Yes. That you just kind of want to say you're an idiot, or that's just really stupid. Why are you even? Why would you? Obviously, you can't, but you have to think that from time to time, right? I mean, because there are just some stupid people in the world.
well, and when I'm struggling with empathy, I'll give you kind of a snapshot to my self-care routine. If I'm struggling with empathy, I need a break. I need some vacation. I need to be able to get away because if I don't have empathy and care, genuine care for the people that are coming in my office, I'm not doing my job. So where I struggle the most with that filter is when I see, like people being abusive, to their wives, to their children. I struggle with reining in what I want to say in those environments because it's so damaging and so hurtful. So, that's typically where I got to take a step back. I have to refer, I have to consult, I got to do something to be able to maintain empathy there. But yeah, on a personal note, that's the ones that are hard for me clinically.
Do
So
do therapists or counselors have therapists and counselors that they see typically? Do you find that to be true?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard in this profession. It's kind of like the physician heal thyself. It's hard as a therapist to be able to ask for help for yourself because you're supposed to have all the answers. But the healthy ones in this field, when they need it, absolutely, they'll reach out and they'll go talk to somebody, for themselves to be able to get perspective, to be able to get input, to be able to get grounded again and get back to why you chose this field to begin with. But yeah, if they're smart and healthy, that's exactly what they do.
Wow, that's incredible insight. You are a very insightful person, and you have so much knowledge. And I'm blessed to have you on this show. Your clients are very blessed to have you as a therapist and as a counselor. So for everyone, I just want to say thank you. And that's another one. Police. It's. Have you seen in your career this law enforcement? They don't want to go and see a therapist, or maybe not just law enforcement, just people in those types of jobs, where maybe it's almost like a weakness by doing it. After Dad retired, I remember asking about this, just the whole idea of these things, and I just kind of ran that by him, and I think he kind of even mentioned that it's just, yeah, if you're ordered to go, you go, but I just don't see a lot of people wanting to. But do you think it's because of their professions?
Very much so. I mean, there's a stigma associated with mental health anyways. That stigma is less than it used to be. That stigma gets magnified with men, and it gets magnified with men who are in positions of power and authority, or those that have gone through the military. So, military teaches you to problem solve, teaches you to be self-sufficient, teaches you to be mission focused. I don't have time to be sad. I don't have time to hurt. I don't have time to be anxious. So they're very good at compartmentalizing things. They just put it in a box and leave that box alone. We saw a tremendous amount of that with the World War II generation. Tom Brokaw did a book called The Greatest Generation, and that's one of the strengths of that generation of people is their capacity to compartmentalize. And we see that now with members of law enforcement, with those in the military, retired from the military. It's hard to ask for help from that profession.
Yeah, so how do you, I mean, obviously you can't go out, and maybe you should do, door knocking. Mental health therapist. I'm a good looking guy. I'm a nice person, because you are a good looking guy and a nice person. Need some help? Is that how you get new clients? I mean, how do you get new clients?
Everything that we do here is through word of mouth. Part of the luxury of living in a small town is that everybody knows everybody. And when that's good, that's positive press, that's positive, feedback on what you're doing. So yeah, probably not everything, but most of what we get is from word of mouth referrals. So, I don't advertise. I do some stuff on social media with my business Facebook account, but beyond that, it truly is word of mouth. So the network of mental health professionals and social workers in our area is we're a pretty tight bunch. We know each other. We've worked together. We've, slogged through the mud together, and that's where your referrals come from. So maintaining those relationships really has been key. So
how long have you been doing this?
19 years.
But you've only been Spooner for what, 5?
No, I've been in Spooner since 2004. So
whatever that is.
That's 15 years there.
15 years. So. Wow, you are really good at math.
Yeah. You're not going to list that as a compliment. That's the weakest one of the day.
I know, but it still counts.
Yeah, so.
All right, so what else is going on in the mental health world?
Oh, trying to survive, trying to keep the lights on. People ask me how I'm doing, regularly, which I appreciate. And I continue to say, what, my goal is to be able to ride this thing out, to keep the lights on, so we've pared back what we can, trying to still provide services for people. But, this is just a time to ride out things and really try to model in our own lives. But we're trying to teach other people, you model calm, cool, and collected. You model swag. I mean, look what's on your head. We need more of that DrydenWire swag, because you're rocking it, and I ascribe to be like that.
Oh man. This is nuts.
What's the score, anyways?
I don't know. 11-10, you're up. But we've had like 4 compliments on our in the comments. So each one is worth $10. So that's a rough one, man. We're gonna be broke. Right. We're gonna end the show fast.
We're gonna be fasting after the show.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. So Jim LeDuc, he was on yesterday, and he's gonna be running. I think it's at the Spooner track tomorrow, right?
Yep.
For 12 hours. What is your relationship? Do you have a relationship with Jim LeDuc? Do you know him well?
I have known Jim since basically I moved to Spooner. So, Jim was, I still continues to be very involved from a county standpoint, but I've known Jim personally. I've known him professionally. Known him a long time. Know his wife, Dee,
that was, I didn't even put those two things together. See, you are really good at making those connections. I really like that. You're great at those connections. I'm counting that one.
Okay. All right. Again, pretty weak. So
I'm running out of compliments.
Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Jim's hardcore when it comes to exercise. I mean, you want to talk about outlets and his self-care. That's his self-care routine. Is his exercise. So.
So I've heard. I don't know if this is true or not, and I remember I heard it probably a movie. That when you replace an addiction, sometimes you just replace it with another addiction, except that addiction may be something better for you, like running. Not saying that running is an addiction, just, is that true? Have you found that to be true? And is that good that you replace one thing with another, but it's still an addiction?
Some addictions get us arrested, some get us notoriety. Find me a CEO and I'll find you somebody who's probably addicted to work, So you can define addiction in lots of different ways, but obviously certain addictions cause problems for us. It's rare that you find somebody whose addiction, quote unquote, to exercise causes problems for them, or their addiction to some sort of hobby. I tell people, look, measure the impact that this is having on your relationships, because if you're fishing at the expense of your marriage, there's a problem there. If you're hunting at the expense of your marriage, and I wrote a Facebook or a post not, too long back about how to survive,
put it on DrydenWire, and oh my goodness, it was fantastic. All the people that were 70.
I got lit up, that I was completely whipped. My wife was in control, leading me around by a noose.
It was so good.
Like, wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was, I think, something like something about how to hunt or save your marriage in 4 easy steps or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, how to have a successful hunting season and save your marriage in like 5 easy steps or something like that. Yeah, that's right.
I'll put that, I'll repost that when we're finished here, back onto our main page on DrydenWire.com, just so I can make sure you get a whole bunch more hate.
Yeah, appreciate that. You probably never get hate mail because people love you though, right?
Yeah, never. I call it emotion mail, not hate mail.
Okay.
It just helps me process it a little bit better. I get a lot of emotion mail.
Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's actually funny, like we'll have, like we had Scott Walker on, I don't know, a week or two ago, and boy, the hate that came in. And then the next week, I think it was like Janet Bewley and I think Tricia Zunker, both Democrats. And, then we get a whole bunch of hate from the other side that are sending things in.
I can't win.
I can't win, man. It's like, I really don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. If the governor asks, their former governor asks to come on, I'm going to say yes.
Yep.
Jeepers.
Well, he sees your Walter Cronkite type genius, so I'm sure that's why Governor Walker wanted to come on. So,
but nice.
Well, that's where you went. That's where you did your journalism school, right?
No, funny story. I've never gone to taken any classes. I've never have any official or professional or even unprofessional training in media. A journalist, reporter, editor. I have literally no business running this business. None. I don't know. Somehow it's still working, so I just keep going.
Well, this is going to be a compliment, but this is actually valid, because one of the things I've appreciated about the interviews that you've done with these politicians and elected officials is that you're humanizing them. Okay. Aaron Marco on the other day, he said, I hate lawyers and I hate politicians. And that's why I'm going to that is beautiful.
Yeah, that was gold, man.
Governor Walker, he shows up and he's got beads of sweat dripping off his head as he's coming fresh out of his workout. I mean, that's as real as you can be.
Yeah.
Chris Fitzgerald, his personality
Oh,
comes
Chris is
through.
great.
And that's what humanizes it. And that's what I think really enables people to connect with other people, is that aspect of it. So I think the lack of, professional training that you're highlighting here actually is what makes it go. So I think it works
Maybe.
because of that reason.
Maybe, yeah, because every day it's either we're right leaning or we're left leaning, and they just can't seem to make up their mind. And maybe that's good that we get pretty much an equal amount of
Yeah.
one side or the other.
You showed me that one clip where you got called a Republican brown noser, a sniveling hack,
yeah.
and you were just getting lit.
I saved that one actually because I do have a folder on my computer where I save all these things because I actually think it's important that I read them. I no longer respond to any of these, but it's important just because I don't know. I want to see the emotion that people have because really I try to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's not just the words. I mean, if I got to be a verbal punching bag for someone, I can take that. But I really try to figure out, peel the layer back a little bit, a banana peel back, and just figure out where they're coming from. And when I do that, and actually, a wise person actually was the one who gave me that advice a while ago, and that was Darren Cox, actually. That was great advice, man. It really helped me.
Well, I don't even know. I got nothing. So.
Okay, so this weekend, what are you doing? Are you going to go watch Jim run tomorrow?
I might pop out there to give him some support. So that's a long time to be running, and I hope other people practicing appropriate distance can encourage and support Jim in that endeavor that he's doing. So, no, if the weather keeps getting a little bit warmer, I hope to do a little bit of fishing. But other than that, I've been doing a lot of work in the woods. Putting tree stands up, cutting firewood, anything to be outdoors. So.
Well, Christy Smith just said that your last compliment was pretty awesome, so that has to be worth 2 or 3. So I'm giving you, I'll give you 2.
Okay. You're not going to give me 3?
Fine, I'll give you 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, a good cause, right? So.
Yeah. Spitwads. I think I'm going to get some spitwads or something for Jim tomorrow. I'm going to walk over there and just every time he runs by the track. Keep my social distance, or physical distance, I should say.
Yes, physical distance.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for this Sunday night, episodes 1 and 2 of The Last Dance.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Okay.
And I heard this morning that so it'll be airing at like 7 o'clock, the first episode. I think the next one right after it. On ESPN is the unfiltered version. Then on ESPN2 is the edited version.
Okay.
And basically it's just they took the swearing off for ESPN2. And I know it sounds silly, but actually I like that idea that you can, because, I want like my kids to watch it. Because that's, the era I grew up in, Jordan era, et cetera. But, I don't want to hear a bunch of F-bombs. I mean, I just don't.
Well, and our kids don't know, his greatness, and I hope people appreciate your greatness, and that someday we're able to put out a 2-part documentary on Professor.
We got to think of the name of it. I don't even know what we call it. Oh man, I got to come up with something good for that one.
Should ask for some Facebook help there. So.
All right, so it looks like we are tallied up here. Let's see, 15, 16 for you, and I had 5 to 12, and then we had another 40 for the people that have complimented us on the. Oh shoot, another person! Stop commenting, people. I'm running out of money. We'll stop it there. So it's 50 each, and then another. So it's 56 for you. As in, that's what I'm going to have to pay. And 52 you're going to have to pay. So $56 I will donate to Community First Washburn County, and you are 52. Does that sound good, or do we want to change that?
No, I think that's not bad for a half-hour show, and I hope that, again, people watching online will do the same and donate. So love causes that impact things locally. So
I think so too. So yeah, everyone go out and watch Jim LeDuc. But again, go to DrydenWire.com. There's information right there, or go on Facebook to Community First Washburn County. There's more information there. You can donate there. Lakeland Family Resource, you can donate there. Go to their Facebook page. Darren, it's been awesome. Thanks so very much. As always, you're a blast to chat with.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. I enjoyed it. So, and not all of those compliments were facetious. Some of them were legit. So, I mean, I truly do believe you are beautiful.
I actually thought you were going to... All right, I'm going to have to round up. I'll put in 75. How about that?
All right.
That was worth it. So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of points for that one.
All right.
All right, man. I'll talk to you. I don't know if we're still at the Safer at Home one. I mean, as of right now, depending on what happens, it's going to be a while.
All right.
So we'll talk to you in a couple, 3 more weeks, huh?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, cool. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you once again to my special guest today, mental health professional Darren Cox. We'll see you right back here Monday morning at 8:30. So until then, have a safe and happy weekend. Keep your social distance and have a blessed day.